So we've run the die roll, which is obviously good with burn. We pretty much always want to be winning die rolls, and this hand is kind of absurd, regardless of what matchup we're playing. Obviously, I know we're playing against Death and Taxes, but this hand is still a snap keep against pretty much any deck in the format. We've got 2 pieces of interaction for their creatures. We've got a constant source of damage with Swiftspear. We have a constant source of damage with Eidolon, and we have something that can make up for a constant source of damage with Price of Progress. So we're going to keep it. When I say constant source of damage, I basically mean something that can do more damage than like what is initially printed on the card. So we kind of assume that all the cards in our deck can do at least 2 to 3 damage. Eidolon is usually the lower end of that, of like we're playing it because we know it will do at least 2 damage, basically. And then Swiftspear and like Price of Progress can be the higher end of that if they don't have answers to it. Swiftspear against Death and Taxes specifically, and against other creature decks specifically, is better than Goblin Guide because of its prowess trigger. Its butt just gets so big so quickly that there's not a lot they can do in terms of blocking, especially with cards like Thalia being in the format. So we'll go ahead and him for 1, of course. Get the Thalia out there, or I get the Swiftspear out there. And it looks like our opponent did keep 7. So they've got a good hand. We ended up winning the die roll, rolling a 2 compared to Dark Fuse 1. That's not too bad. So when you see snow-covered plains, that's pretty much always going to be Death and Taxes. That's kind of the giveaway. The reason they play that is because of cards like Predict, basically. He's played Mother of Runes, which is one of 3 creatures in this matchup I usually try to kill. Because we've got Monastery Swiftspear, I think we can kind of get away with it too, and we just drew this Lightning Bolt because we're good at Magic. So, ideally, I would like to jam an Eidolon here, but I know that's not going to be the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack with Swiftspear. I'm not expecting him to block, but if he does, for whatever reason... actually, I'm thinking about using Chain Lightning, actually. I think I actually just want to use Chain Lightning. So I'm just going to shoot that. Trigger Prowess. I don't know. I think that the versatility of Lightning Bolt against Death and Taxes is worth, you know, not just, you know, that 1% that he blocks with Mother of Runes. So I'm not going to deploy Lightning Bolt yet. If he plays a Stoneforge Mystic, I want to be able to kill it. If he plays Thalia, you know, yep, that's fine. Now we're going to see what he thinks about me attacking openly with Swiftspear here without casting anything. Because if he decides to block, obviously I'll just bolt his face and kill Thalia. If he doesn't, I'll play Eidolon. Another land here wouldn't be too bad. No, he's got Thalia. Okay, well, we'll just attack. See how good he thinks I am at poker. Apparently thinks I'm pretty good. And he'd be right in this instance. Go ahead and play the Eidolon. Thalia is fine on the table right now. We just want to make sure that our Eidolon is getting some damage out and that we've got another card to push damage on the board. A lot of his creatures are going to be smaller than ours. So, you know, like Stoneforge Mystic, for example. So let's see what he tutors up here. If he tutors up basically any piece of equipment, Thalia is going to actually fight against him, so I might just leave Thalia on the table. I think that sounds like a smart plan. Once again, we'll do the whole trick there, basically, of attacking with just Swiftspear, holding up Lightning Bolt. He might try to double block, and then we can just bolt Thalia or whatever. So he does get a Jit, which is fine. That's going to be pretty expensive for him to play through Thalia, once again. So. We can't afford to really let that Jit equip, either. I will play out this mountain so I can have access to double Lightning Bolt if for whatever reason Thalia decides to do something about it. No blocks, as was expected. So I'll shoot this Stoneforge Mystic now. Alright. Eidolon is going to continue to do some work for us, and then hopefully we should be able to burn him out soon. I'd really like for him to play like a Caracas or something here, so the Price of Progress could do a little bit more. And it'll be actually, if he has like another Rishadan port, that would actually be pretty brutal. I guess we've got 2 instants in hand, so it doesn't matter too much. But that would kind of be, yeah, I guess that wouldn't really matter, since we've got this 3rd land to be able to cast Price of Progress. So cards that he might have in hand that would be potentially frustrating for us would be Swords to Plowshares would be pretty annoying right now because he could deal with our Swiftspear, and that's kind of our best repeating source of damage. If he's stuck on lands, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Okay, there's the Caracas we were hoping for. Is this going to be a Palace Jailer? Walking Ballista on 2. What the heck? Wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's probably the worst card. Palace Jailer would have been pretty annoying as well, though. Let's see if he's going to let me untap with access to an instant. He is. Okay. What's up, baby? Let's say if we draw another land right there, we can just get him. But we'll just play this Swiftspear instead. So, kind of need to attack with everything, I think, and probably try to bolt him. There's not a lot we can do. Actually, you know what? We might just Lava Spike him. No, we need to be worried about Jit coming down next turn and equipping to Thalia. Yeah, this is a pretty awful spot. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to sit back. Yeah, we'll just sit back. Because we can't afford for him to Jit. So you can kind of start seeing where, you know, the mana denial plan of Death and Taxes comes into effect, because I can't Lava Spike him this turn and still hold up Lightning Bolt for whatever he's going to Jit. I think his best play here is probably, if he's going to use his Walking Ballista, he needs to use it now before I use the Lightning Bolt. The downside to that play is if he gets rid of his Walking Ballista, it becomes pretty easy for me to just shoot his Lightning Bolt at his Thalia to kill his Thalia, and then my Swiftspears will survive the damage if he was trying to kill them with Thalia. I mean, if he's trying to kill my Swiftspears with Walking Ballista, rather. So we're in a kind of a standstill right now until we can find another land to start just throwing Lava Spike at his face and holding up Lightning Bolt. So he can probably just keep passing the turn. I think this spot kind of favors him because he's got the Jit that, you know, I just have to worry about for basically the rest of the game in his hand. This was a pretty brutal start as well from Death and Taxes, because this is kind of the holy trinity of cards you don't want to see from them, because those are all creatures you more or less have to kill. Each one of those creatures is just very powerful in this matchup. Thalia is the one you have to care about the least, because you can kill her at basically any time as long as you've killed the Mother of Runes, and you've killed the Stoneforge Mystic. She can kind of keep whatever piece of equipment they've got in their hand off the battlefield for a little while. But at the same time, I mean, it's like saying, would you rather have, you know, a cold or would you rather have the flu? It's like, well, yeah, I'd rather have the cold, but at the same time, like, it's still a cold. You know, I'm not excited about it. So that's kind of how I look at Thalia in this kind of a matchup. And it looks like he might be passing the turn as well, would be my guess. Yeah, I think that's his best play. Let's try to draw a land here. Good lord, we're good at magic. Alright, let's go and spike you and force the action on his part. Alright, prowess is resolving, which is great for us. Lava Spike is hitting his face. Also great for us. And we're getting to a point where Price of Progress will just finish off the game. So I am going to go ahead and attack with everything besides Eidolon, I believe. Because if he blocks here, he just gets blown out. I don't think he can win the game at this point, honestly. Maybe I should have attacked with Eidolon for that reason. Because then we force in at least 4 damage. And then I can throw... Yeah, I can get him down to 1. I don't know. I think we're fine to just play it safe here, honestly. Okay, I'm liking this a lot. I'm expecting him to use Walking Ballista to kill Eidolon, basically. Or he might have Swords to Plowshares, which would be a pretty good blowout. But we'll see. Oh, he's just gonna maybe take it. First strike happens. Oh, he's going to use Walking... That's a really good play on his part. He's going to use Walking Ballista to kill that Swiftspear. In that case, I might be prompted to use a Lightning Bolt to force him to get rid of his Walking Ballista, and I'll kill his Thalia that way. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Unless his Thalia dies to combat here. Ooh, putting a counter on it. Sure. Okay, now I'm basically, yeah, priced into going that direction. So let's see. If I bolt his Thalia now, that triggers Prowess, and he basically has to use both of those counters. I guess he can... What's the problem of letting this resolve? Of this +1/+1 resolve? Is there one? I think I need to... I don't think it matters. Because we need to make sure that we kill his Walking Ballista this turn as well, in order to win this game. I don't think that there's any reason I shouldn't let that resolve. Because he can just respond to the Prowess with just taking a counter off anyways and killing it. So there's no real difference. Darkview should be recording this from his side as well, so a lot of the reason he's thinking so long about it is he's probably commentating himself. So we need to kill this Thalia. I assume something on that's going on his end right now is, he had the Lightning Bolt. That was basically the card I had to have in my hand to make this situation pretty difficult for him. Oh, he's going to go after the... was he going after... Yeah, he wasn't going after the Eidolon in the first place, I thought. Okay, cool. So I should have attacked with Eidolon then. I completely, to be honest with you, took out Walking Ballista from the equation there. But it looks like, as a result, our Swiftspear is going to be living. Which has got to feel good. Alright, so now he basically probably has to tap out this turn. If we draw just about any burn spell off the top of our deck, we can just kill him through Prowess. Yeah, because we've currently got 8 damage on board. Yeah, please tap. So he's going to play the Jit this turn. So we really do have to worry about killing him this turn. We need to not draw a blank. Basically any creature that's not named Eidolon of the Great Revel is a great draw here. Anything that isn't the Singleton Exquisite Firecraft we have in our sideboard, or in our main board, is also pretty good here. Riftbolt would actually suck. Riftbolt would actually suck. I think I'm gonna try to get as much value out of this Price of Progress I have in my hand while I can, though. There's the Stone Fortune Stick. Is he gonna just play the? Okay. I guess he can. Yeah, he can play and equip the Jit later, or he can just get a Batterskull here, which I expect to happen. I don't think he would get. Yeah, I don't think he'd get SoFi. Come on, any burn spell. Nope. So we need to attack with the Swiftspears. Gonna go ahead and just jam them at him. Yeah, this is equip 5. Okay, sure. So if he just jams the Batterskull, that's actually a pretty decent play for us. Yep, because we can still draw a couple of cards in our deck that can just kill this and put him to 1. So there's a couple cards in our deck that do that. Come on. Fire Blast, and then being able to kill it as well with like a Flame Rift. Okay. Where were you last turn, man? I guess it wouldn't have mattered. So if we had a Lightning Bolt here, the third one, we could actually block his Batterskull with our Swiftspear and then shoot it to prevent Jit plus Batterskull from getting there. But I think we've unfortunately just lost this game. So I was maybe supposed to attack with Eidolon at that one point. Let's see. I don't think there's really much we can do. We can put him down to 1. Dang, we had a good hand too. Yeah, I think that we're just dead because he's gonna play the probably play Umezawa's Jitte next turn, equip it to Batterskull, and then he'll be able to gain, what is it, like 8 life a turn? So yeah, we'll just pass. I don't think that there's anything we can do to win at this point. I'm going to save the Flame Rift. We've got more than enough mana in our hand and on board to cast anything else we draw. So I'm going to keep him guessing, because that's our best chance now is bluffing something. That was a really good play on his part, taking out that Eidolon. Didn't even think about that. Okay, interesting. He has not played the Jit equipped to it. That might give us a chance to top deck a spell here that can kill the Germ token. I wonder what he's going to play. Sorry, you guys might be hearing my little kitten go meow, meow, meow. We just got her spayed, so she has to be under pretty close supervision, which means she has to be in this room with me right now. So, sorry if you guys are hearing that. I tried to put my mic on, pretty low pickup, and on recording mode. Interesting. Aether Vial. Okay. And there's the Jit, as we were expecting. I am also expecting him to... Okay. I'm expecting him to equip, then. Plays the Thalia. I think if I were him, I'd I mean, I would have fire blasted his germ last turn, so I probably would have just played the Jit, but maybe he thinks I'm still pokering him to do that and just blow him out on tempo. But I think I still would have just fire blasted the germ last turn, so I probably would have equipped the Jit this turn, attacked, and just put the game out of reach. I don't think that we can win anymore now. I'll go ahead and play out a land. I think it's important to like not just always hold lands in your hand, but to like play one every once in a while so that it just adds more like of a bluff to the rest of your hand, you know. So unfortunately we've drawn 6 lands this game, which hasn't really helped, but at the same time like we've only drawn them just now, you know, so it's not a big deal. I think that we're still pretty close to winning this. We were a point off. So him killing that Eidolon was a really good play, and I think that actually that Walking Ballista maybe ended up winning the game because it didn't take any damage off of the Eidolon, and it was able to deal with the Eidolon and block my Swift Spears. Yeah, okay. So we're going to bring in the Searing Bloods against him. That's going to be a great card. We're going to bring in all 4 copies of Smash because he's got 8 targets, and 3 of them can be a pretty big deal for us. So we're going to take out probably something like Exquisite Firecraft in this matchup. He's got Thalia, so it's just going to be pretty difficult to cast. And we might take out something like Eidolon maybe, just because he's got... we're going first right now, so we're going to keep Eidolon in, but that might be something we take out later. I don't mind shaving Price of Progress because they don't have a lot of lands that we can hit. And they also run Wasteland as one of their non-basics. So if you look at it this way, they've got about 11, sometimes 12 non-basics in their deck if they're running Cavern of Souls. And 4 of them can get rid of 2 of those non-basics by, you know, Wastelanding. Wasteland can hit itself, or Wasteland can hit their Cavern or whatever, and then your Price of Progress is just really bad. There's going to be situations where Price of Progress is incredible when you're doing 6 damage to them, but I think that those instances and the instances where it's doing 4 damage to them are going to be rare enough to where the card isn't going to be worth it. Like 4 is kind of the ceiling that we're expecting, and the floor realistically could be 0 damage, so we don't really want that. We do want to bring in these Volcanic Fallouts, and we might want to just shave the Flame Rifts. We could also shave Fire Blast in this matchup. The only reason that Fire Blast is like particularly interesting is basically to kill Batterskull as a last ditch effort kind of thing, or kill something that's going to put Batterskull into play. We do want the Sulfuric Vortex. It's just consistent damage. When you're pointing a lot of your spells at their creatures, you kind of want to bring Vortex in. It's going to cut off their life gain primarily, but it's also going to make up for the damage that you threw at their creatures. Kind of struggling to see what else I want to cut. I think Flame Rift, just because it's not interacting, and then probably Lava Spike as well. I think that looks good. Everything else I like because it's either going to put pressure on them or kill one of his creatures. Yeah, I want to play first. This thing looks great. We've got a way to deal with a early creature from him, and we can play the kill your creature game for a little while if he's got the all-important creature hands. So it's not exciting. Like, we don't have our best cards in the matchup, but we have a pretty good card, and we've got cards that interact with what he's doing. If this Rift Bolt was a creature, I think this hand would be insane against him, but we'll see. We've got some draw steps to get there. We also have just, you know, huge payoff cards that are pretty good no matter what time you play them, like Searing Blood, especially if we can smash the Smithereens and Aether Vial. But we'll see. We're kind of scared of him playing Stoneforge Mystic on turn 1. I'm going to go ahead and suspend this Rift Bolt. That way I can just kill the Mother of Runes if he plays it. If he doesn't, I will just shoot his face with it, and then we'll smash the Smithereens as Aether Vial. I'm assuming he's going to have one or the other since he snap kept the 7. And it looks like he does not, so I'm actually feeling decent about this, but maybe the reason he didn't play anything is because this Rift Bolt was on suspend. I'm going to shoot you with that. Pow. If we could draw a creature here, that'd be great. Searing Blood, also quite good. I think I'm going to go ahead and suspend Riftbolt here. And then probably end up Lightning Bolting him end of turn. And the reason why is because Searing Blood is going to be good no matter what, based on his current hand. So I'm going to go ahead and suspend this Searing Blood, or this Riftbolt, and we'll hold on to this Searing Blood to be able to just nail whatever we want to later. But this hand has the capability of just going upstairs really quickly, now that we've drawn the Searing Blood and not having to worry about much of its creatures. So all you're really trying to do is you're trying to play the tempo game against them when you're going first, and when you're going second against them, you're kind of trying to do the control game of stop whatever it is they're doing. Rashad Port can get pretty annoying in the late game, so we need to watch out for that. But it's also a card that just isn't very good against us when we've got a lot of instants in our deck that are basically all doing one thing or another thing. You know, they're either shooting something on his board or they're shooting his face. So Rashad Port, typically not a card we're super worried about, is burn. If you do know they have Rashad Port in their deck, try to get your sorceries out of your hand first, and keep your instants for when they port you. So he's got a couple different 2-drops in his deck that can be kind of annoying for us. Thalia would obviously be the most annoying right here. Jit, this is going to be a blowout. Thalia is annoying because we have to bolt in response to Thalia, and then we would have to pay to shoot Thalia down with Riftbolt, and that would just put us in a really awkward spot mana-wise for the Searing Blood. But it's looking like that's not going to be the case. So we're just going to go ahead and throw that bolt at his face. We'll go ahead and play the Swiftspear just to start getting some damage in, and I may even throw a bolt at his face right now because we've got this Smash and this Searing Blood just to blow out his Jit with. So I think that that's fine. We also have the other Lightning Bolts to make Thalia awkward. The main problem with this is, and it's, I mean, we've already committed, is if he has Thalia plus Mother of Runes, that can be a really big problem for us. But we're going to just keep going face. So if he plays a Thalia next turn, we're kind of in trouble. I should have maybe thought about that. But I just wanted to get in as much damage as I can with Swiftspear. So if he has like land plus Thalia plus Mother of Runes, we're in trouble. He also has to have a way of producing white mana rather than like a wasteland for that scenario to happen. But yeah, Thalia is the only creature we're scared of coming down at this point, more or less. Flicker Wisp wouldn't really be that bad just because we've got the Searing Blood for it. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that would live through Searing Blood that he could play here. Brightling, I believe, is normally a 2/2, I think. So no Thalia, please. He might be tutoring something up. Sanctum Prelate. That could be brutal if that's on 2. And we don't draw land or something like that. I mean, we can kill it with Lightning Bolt, but chosen numbers 2. Alright. Drawing land here would be really good for us. Land. Come on. Another Searing Blood. Well, we will go ahead and attack with Swiftspear, as we are wont to do with our deck. Him having Karakas was sweet for us. I think he probably has 2 Sanctum Prelates in his deck at this point. So we're kind of giving away that our hand has a lot of 2-drops here, but we don't have a lot of choice, unfortunately. So normally he'd be at 4 right now, but we have so many 2-drops in our deck and in our hand that with this Jit on the board, we're kind of priced into killing a Sanctum Prelate. You could argue that maybe I was supposed to save the Lightning Bolt actually for his Jit equip. Because once again, if he plays Thalia here, a little bit annoying. But we'll see. We can still draw a land in the Thalia scenario and come out okay. It also looks like he's a little bit hurt on mana right now, maybe. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe just port us this turn, but if he does that, we'll smash his shit and get in for 5 damage and put him down to 2. Alright, it's looking like that's probably going to be the case, is he's just going to try to port us here. And we're going to show kind of how awkward port can be. I don't see a lot of reason here to not just smash and hit with Swiftspear. I'm a little surprised to see him not port. He might have drawn a Swords to Plowshares, I guess. So if you were to play Eidolon this turn, you want to play it after combat if you're suspecting he has swords. Go ahead and just hit that, get it off the table. Make him not use any of his mana this turn for anything at all, basically. So he does have Path. Okay, that's good. That's fine. That's actually not bad for us, because if he plays Thalia now, we're totally okay with that. So he's at 4. He's had some real issues with his mana. Now this is looking a little bit better for him. I'm expecting a Recruiter to come down now. But that's just a Chalice on 1. Okay. Well, alright. So now Searing Blood will basically kill him. He can play Chalice out on 2, but then Eidolon will get to attack. And we'll put him down to lethal from Eidolon, basically, unless he has Walking Ballista, basically. Wow, Walking Ballista is like actually pretty good against Searing Blood too. Oh man, okay, cool. Chalice of the Void, huh? I don't know if I like that. That's a mean card. That's actually really good against our deck too, from his side. It does make Thalia a lot more awkward though. So we know he's playing Chalice. Do we want to cut like maybe another Lava Spike and bring in a Flame Rift? The Eidolons are a little bit more awkward here. I think I'm going to shave 2 Eidolons and probably bring in 2 more Flame Rifts. The reason I want to shave Eidolon is, well, actually, thinking back to how this game goes, a lot of the times I'm just killing their stuff. I might just need Eidolon to be recurring damage, but the problem is he's got Path in his deck now, right? And he's got Swords. So Eidolon really isn't going to be much of an issue. And maybe I just want stuff like Flame Rift off the top of my deck that's a guaranteed 4 damage. Do I want to leave 2 Eidolons in, or do I want to bring in 2... or do I want to bring in another Flame Rift? We might just be arguing over a percentage point at this point. The other question is, do I want to bring it back in Fire Blast for like another Lava Spike? And for the ability to deal with the Batterskull if I have to. Like a really early one? Well, I don't know. I think we'll just keep it as is. We don't want to Fire Blast because we've got these 3-drops in our deck. They're high impact, so I think we'll just run it back like this. That Chalice is throwing us for a loop, though. We could be in a lot of... Wow, this hand is awful. Could be in a lot of trouble if he lands a Chalice on us with the right hand, or with the wrong hand on our side. The good news is Chalice kind of internally fights with Thalia, so if we see Thalia, we shouldn't see Chalice for at least until the next turn, basically. But he'll develop very slowly and be pretty susceptible to getting blown out by like a Searing Blood, or blown out by well, I think we have to keep this hand. Blown up by like a Smash to Smithereens or something. This hand isn't very exciting, but we do have Swiftspear, which, as we mentioned, is pretty good against most of his creatures, and we've got a way to interact. So we'll keep this hand, and we'll put that on top. That's probably the best draw we could have had, which, I mean, is obviously pretty common in our deck at this point, but pretty good there. Okay, I was gonna say, hopefully he doesn't have turn 1 Mother of Runes. That's probably the scariest thing he can do against us on turn 1, because we can't develop the Swiftspear. So I have to shoot this, otherwise Volcanic Fallout isn't going to do a lot of work later. And now we have to really hope he doesn't have a what's it called? The core Stoneforge Mystic. Because if he has Stoneforge Mystic and we don't draw like a Lightning Bolt or a Chain Lightning, we're just going to lose the game. That being said, if he doesn't have anything here and we can play both of our Swiftspears out, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. But we're just really worried about Stoneforge Mystic coming down right now before we can deal with it. Okay, there's Chalice on 1. That's pretty insane against us right now. Can we draw Smash the Smithereens just once? We can. Alright, we're good at Magic. I'm going to see how he develops before using the Smash. I'm going to make him think that he's got us, because he might play Stoneforge Mystic now, and then we might have to smash his Batterskull. So, if that's the case, that's the case. But otherwise, I need to get this off the table this turn so I can play these Swiftspears and get them in for damage before they're irrelevant in this game. Yeah, see, that's a problem. Quite unfortunate. I think he's going to get Jit here. Batterskull. That is ambitious. Okay, so we have to hold on to Smash. If we draw Volcanic Fallout here, or like a Lightning, we can't draw Lightning Bolt, Searing Blood, we can still get him. So yeah, I don't want to smash his Chalice here just yet. That being said, if I do smash his Chalice, I actually increase the odds of me drawing a good card off the top of my deck that can deal with his Stoneforge Mystic, because I can then draw Lightning Bolt and like play Swiftspear and then Lightning Bolt his Stoneforge Mystic. So the question we need to ask ourselves is, at this point in the game, are we playing to win or are we playing to not lose? You know, what's the play that makes me not lose? I think we have more of a chance if we hold on to the Smash the Smithereens now that we know he's got Batterskull as his creature he's going to be putting into play next turn. And we still have the opportunity of drawing one of our 18 lands in our deck to just, you know, get his Stoneforge Mystic, but man, I'm not sure if we're supposed to do that or not. I think we're going to just hold on to it, see what happens. Searing Blood, just once. Come on. That'll work. This doesn't feel great. I mean, this is the first damage we've done to him all game, and it's turn 3, you know. But his hand is lined up really well with what we're doing right now. Good news is we will be able to smash the Smithereens, his Chalice next turn, and play Swiftspear, which is kind of a weird order of doing things, but it's the way it has to work. What would be another good draw? Like if we draw like another Volcanic Fallout or a yeah, that sucks. If we draw another Volcanic Fallout, or if we draw a Searing Blood, that'd be great. Okay, so we're just going to pass the turn here again, and we'll smash the Smithereens, his Chalice on his instep. That will give us free reign to put both of our Swiftspears in. But yeah, this is... I mean, he's had four cards that are pretty good against us, unfortunately. Good news is Thalia will be doing a little bit of work for us as well with his Batterskull in hand, and the fact that he hasn't played a land last turn. We're also going to see the next level aspect of this of MTGO, as maybe we can time him out before he can kill us, which isn't how I would prefer for this video to go. I would probably basically declare a victor based on what he declared to have in hand. Now we kind of have to kill a Jit. That makes sense as to why he grabbed the Batterskull. I didn't even commentate on that. Or didn't even comment on that at all. So if we blow up the Chalice of the Void, we're kind of in the same position of we can theoretically draw a card that kills Thalia. I think at this point, we actually have to just kill the Chalice of the Void and hope that we draw something that kills Thalia off the top of our deck, which is 1, 2, 3, or we draw like a Smash the Smithereens, number 2. So we've got 3 Smashes in our deck, 2 Volcanic Fallouts. Volcanic Fallout doesn't work anymore because of Thalia. So 3 Smash to Smithereens, 3 Searing Bloods, that's 6. 3 Chain Lightnings is 9. Lightning Bolts is another 4. So it's 13 draws that can answer this Thalia compared to only 3 draws that would get us out of Chalice of the Void. Yeah, we have to smash this Chalice. Vortex would normally be good without Thalia on the board. We will go ahead and play out a Swiftspear and a Swiftspear. And if we draw a... if we end up drawing a land, the Sulfuric Vortex could help us end up getting there. So now we've got even more live top decks because of Sulfuric Vortex being in our hand now. And Rashad Port's brutal. Okay, that's going to turn that off. Oh, okay. Looks like he might be playing another creature this turn, maybe. Kind of expected to get ported here, but it's only keeping me off of Sulfuric Vortex, basically, or like Volcanic Fallout being in my hand, so maybe that's what he's thinking of. He might also kill my Swiftspears here, if he doesn't have another creature. That'd be kind of brutal. See, this is the part where Flame Rift looks bad, is we've just fallen so far behind on tempo, you know? So this is going to be like a Stoneforge Mystic, probably. I'm guessing. And we'll just lose, probably. Oh, Aether Vial. Okay. Deal. We can beat Aether Vial. There's the land. Brilliant. Just go ahead and play this now. Now he's kind of priced into killing a Swiftspear, I think. Because gaining 4 life isn't going to matter if I'm just going to hit you for 4. Okay. Alright. And now Flame Rift looks even worse with Vortex on the table. But we did cut off his Batterskull, which is nice. So hit him for 4 there. And now we're in a spot where if we draw instants out of our deck, we can actually just play defense. Like if we draw Lightning Bolts now, we can actually just sit back and stonewall this Thalia for a long time. This Jit is still active though. It's worth noting that like if he does attack us, he's gonna be able to kill a Swiftspear. So, yep. So don't fall into the mindset of saying like, oh, I have Sulfuric Vortex, this Jit doesn't do anything. No, it can still make his Thalia big, and it can still just kill my Swiftspears. So. Lightning Bolt would be our best draw here, I think. Ooh, Flicker Wisp. So you're going to flicker the oh, that's brutal. Yeah, that's going to be the game. Yeah, so we're just going to lose now, unfortunately. We do have to draw... if we draw like a Smash the Smithereens or a... what's it called? Volcanic Fallout. That'd be insane right here. Be probably our best way of getting back in the game. Okay, that's unfortunate. If we Flame Rift him, that doesn't really do a whole lot. Just hurts us a bunch. I think that we have to cast Flame Rift here, probably, just because it does the most possible damage to him. And then we can like maybe draw a land card. So he's gonna go down to 9. I think we theoretically have to attack all in here. So that would put him down to 7. Then he goes down to 5. Oh, no, we have to leave a guy back to block Thalia. Otherwise we die to Sulfuric Vortex. Duh. As I say, I had it painted out in my mind, but I couldn't... oh, okay, sure. Couldn't quite figure it out. So he goes down to 9. He's going to go back up to 13 if he has another Flicker Wisp. I think we theoretically have to take this damage here, because then we can go Lava Spike you, draw Fire Blast, and still kill him. If we... Okay, let's see. So if we Lava Spike him, it's like, let's take... If we take this and he doesn't have another creature... No, we have to block this. Because if he plays another creature, we probably can't win the game unless we draw Fire Blast. Yeah, I'm gonna block here. Because otherwise he'll just use the Jit to kill our Swiftspear anyways, if it's gonna be an issue. So I think that we made the right call there, because we've got 2 sorceries in hand, so even if he lets us untap, we'll be in trouble. So in order for us to even keep the Swiftspear on the table in that instance, he would basically have to not have a creature to block with. I don't know why he's tapping our Schadenport. I think he should be tapping my lands probably, just to keep me off of mana. It's okay. It's looking like he's going to tap our Schadenport anyways. That makes sense. And another Chalice is probably just going to kill us. How do we get out of this? Once again, Searing Blood. Searing Blood, Smash the Smithereens. Both pretty good here. Volcanic Fallout's a little bit worse because we'll just die. There's Fire Blast. Wow. That's not enough to get him though. Yeah, that would have been enough without the Chalice. Dang. So we got him down to 1 point again, basically, because we can Fire Blast him and then Flame Rift him, and he'll go down to 1, but we'll die. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So let me make sure that I've got this lined up correctly. I can still Fire Blast his Thalia, and that would put him down to 7. That cuts us off of... That cuts us off of 2 lands, meaning we won't be able to cast this... like, what would we be trying to draw at that point? He'd go down to 7, and then we would just die to our own Sulfuric Vortex, basically, no matter what. Yeah. That sucks. Dang. I'm trying to think of a way out of this. Yeah, so normally we'd be able to Lava Spike him, Fire Blast him, that would put him down to 2, and then the Vortex would just kill him on upkeep unless... Actually, I think it's still... I think that still triggers... But, oh, if he had Flicker Wisp, he could flicker this out, gain life in response to this trigger, and still live. So he might still just have Flicker Wisp in hand anyways. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and stop this and talk with Darkview.